Hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan Groos from the Loop Loft, and in this video I'm going to show you a concept for using kind of traditional 4/4 acoustic drum loops alongside some MIDI loops, one that's in 3/4 and one that's an 8-bar phrase in 4/4, and together they'll kind of create a very long 8-bar rhythmic phrase that kind of cycles itself over the course of the 8 bars. So sounds a little abstract at first, but let's kind of dive in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right now we're listening to one of the loops from our Dry Drums series, the In the Pocket Maple Ludwig kit. And as you can hear, it's about as simple as a groove as you could get. It's in 4/4, some 16 notes on the hat, 1 and 3 on the kick, 2 and 4 on the snare. Super straight ahead. And which is cool. This could be the kind of the foundation of a track right here. But let's use some other loops kind of to be like an undercurrent of rhythm alongside it. So that's where these MIDI loops come into play. So let's fire up this loop on the other track here. And let me solo the first loop, or mute it. So as you can see, this is from our Nothing But 3 MIDI loop series. And it's kind of a sparse polyrhythmic groove in 3. So it was playing against the 4/4 groove just a second ago. So if we listen to it, we can, feel the 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's the 3/4 groove, and it's a 4-bar phrase of that. So when you take that and play it against the 4/4 acoustic loop, you can kind of hear the little polyrhythmic tension. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear how they kind of play off each other and resolve on the 1 after they all loop around 4 times. So that's cool in its own right. But let's take something that's an 8-bar phrase, something completely different sonically that kind of ties the whole thing together, and we'll kind of give a fill that brings it back into the 1. So let's just pause this for a second, and I'm going to play this next track on its own so you can just kind of hear it and see what it's all about. So using the Monstrosities Ableton Live Pack drum rack. It's an indie rock groove, but I'm using these kind of crazy distorted electro sounds. And as you can see, if you zoom in, it's a 32 or 8-bar phrase, 32 beats with a fill on that last bar. So 8-bar phrase, and we're going to use that as the glue that ties everything together. So if we listen to all 3 loops together, you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So here we go. So you can kind of hear the 3/4 underneath kind of doing this polyrhythmic thing. We're halfway through it if we look down at the long loop. And then a fill to bring it back where they all come back on the 1. So that's just another way to start coming up with new ideas and phrases. And if you want to take it a step further in Ableton, there's that great new feature where you can right-click on acoustic loops and slice to MIDI drums. So I'm going to convert that audio track to a MIDI drum track. Just if I want to add an extra layer of like an 808 kick, or just and see what it's a 606. It's the default. But let's bring that in. Here we go. Mix it in. Here we go, coming back around to the 1. So it's really it's kind of geeky math rock, but it makes for, some interesting grooves, just, polyrhythms that aren't crazy 7, 8, 15, 16. We're just taking 3/4 and laying it under 4/4 to make something that kind of has a little tension and release in a musical way that could be used in any kind of pop, funk, rock or dance setting. So hope you learned a little something today, just a little trick of mixing time signatures in the same session. Again, give me a shout here on the blog or on YouTube if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, later.